Tonight on the Monday Night Roar, find out who made an appearance on Clemson's campus today. Then, see what Clemson Ideas is giving away during the Pitch Smackdown competition.
And lastly, see why you may want to book your flight with another airline if you're flying out of Greenville.
I'm Horace Priester.
And I'm Freddie Pope.
All this and more coming up on the Monday Night Roar. Students were surprised and excited to see that Bill Gates was Clemson's campus today.
Just go.
The Microsoft co-founder hosted a question and answer session with students in Tillman Auditorium at 4:30 today. The session was titled "A Conversation with Bill Gates: The Future Generation's Role in Addressing the World's Greatest Challenges." If you missed the discussion, don't worry. You can find it on CTV. The Clemson football team got to do some trick-or-treating of their own over the weekend. Before the team left for the NC State game, the coaches' kids provided candy for all of the players. As the team exited practice, they went through a line of children who all gave them candy in the players' helmets. Coach Sweeney was asked what his favorite Halloween costume was as a child. Can you guess what it was? He said he was a huge Dolly Parton fan, and he admitted to dressing as the country music star on multiple occasions.
Clemson University staff member Jane Reese participated in the UN's Protecting Children from Bullying event. The event was organized by the Office of the Special Representation for the Secretary General on Violence Against Children and was in collaboration with the Permanent Mission of Mexico and Japan. The event brought together UN officials, bullying prevention experts, and child advocates. The event will be presented in the UN's 71st session in 2016 across the world. Have you received your flu shot yet? If not, Redfern Health Center will hold a flu vaccine clinic every Wednesday between 9 to 11 a.m. and 1:30 to 4:15 p.m. No appointment necessary. The vaccine was $20 for fee-paid students and $25 for non-fee-paid students. If you are enrolled in the Clemson University Student Health Insurance Plan, this cost is 100% covered.
According to Clemson University's Palmetto poll, 58% of Republicans and 48% of Democrats in South Carolina are still unsure of which candidate that they will vote for in the South Carolina presidential primary. Elections are only 3 months away, and these results represent Clemson's first Palmetto poll in the 2016 election.
In other Clemson news, Clemson's Next Generation Engineers and Scientists is holding their second annual 5K Fit Run Saturday, November 14th. The run will be at 9 a.m. before the Clemson versus Syracuse game. You can sign up at raceroster.com for $20 before the 7th or $25 after the 7th. Hope to see you there.
If you have been on the 4th floor Cooper Library lately, you may have noticed the bookshelf covered with caution tape. This shelf features books that have been banned or challenged throughout the years in United States history. The library's website states that its purpose is to celebrate freedom of expression. At the end of the third quarter in the Clemson vs. NC State game, North Carolina State's running back coach was caught red-handed. After Deshaun Watson scampered out of bounds on the Wolfpack sideline, NC State coach Des Kitchings was caught shoving Watson as he returned to the field. Physical contact between players and coach is unacceptable in college football. The incident is already bringing up questions about the coach's job security.
Clemson Ideas is giving one lucky person a chance to win a new gold MacBook. The 2015 Pitch Smackdown competition will be held on Friday, November 6th in the Tillman Auditorium from 2 to 6 p.m. The event is a fast-paced business idea competition where contestants pitch their best idea in 3 minutes or less for a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to the Silicon Valley. You can register to win the MacBook for free on Eventbrite.com.
Meals on Wheels is a nonprofit organization that helps provide meals to people who are unable to leave their house due to sickness. 4 Clemson University students made it their mission to analyze the nonprofit's day-to-day activities in order to increase efficiency. After the research was complete, they were able to help Meals on Wheels determine the fastest delivery routes as well as assist with other logistic decisions.
Clemson University Cooperative Extension has come up with a plan to clean up the upstate's creeks with a dozen other partners willing to contribute as well. 12-mile, 18-mile, and Golden Creek watersheds are 3 creeks plagued with pollutants and are on the cleanup list. These creeks not only provide beautiful scenery, but they are also used by industry and landowners as well. The cleanup plan is set to be developed in August 2016. Clemson University students competed in a soil judging event in Murray, Kentucky this past week. During the 4-day event, the students practiced judging soil for 3 days, and on the 4th day, they competed. They were required to identify, evaluate, classify, and describe 4 soil profiles. The team finished in 7th place in the 2015 Regional Collegiate Soil Judging Competition at Murray State University. Congratulations.
Is your schoolwork stressing you out? The Joseph F. Sullivan Center, located on the 1st floor of Edwards Hall, is offering a 6-week stress management class to all students, faculty, and staff. Sessions will cover stress management techniques, including relaxation, various meditation styles, and mindfulness. The program begins Tuesday, November 3rd, and continues every Tuesday afternoon through December 8th. Here's Erica with your latest entertainment news.
Thanks, guys. The hottest celebrities attended Heidi Klum's annual Halloween party last Saturday at Lavo. Kendall Jenner and friend went as Karl Lagerfeld and his cat Chopin. Other notable costumes included Katy Perry as a dropped mic and Heidi Klum, who never fails to disappoint, went as Jessica Rabbit. Heidi posted videos to her Instagram of herself. She showed herself the complete process of getting ready, face mask and all, and we barely recognized her. Great job, Heidi. One Direction played their final concert this weekend in the United Kingdom. The concert was extremely emotional for the band and all of its fans. And I know we're hoping the band will come back together really soon. Actor, senator, and former presidential candidate Fred Thompson, 73, passed away Sunday. And a statement released by his family said that the cause was lymphoma. The actor is known for his roles on Law & Order and Roseanne and many other TV shows. Leah Remini was interviewed by ABC's 2020, where she talks about the book that is to be released on Tuesday. The name of her book, Troublemaker, Surviving Hollywood in Scientology, calls out Tom Cruise. Leah speaks to how Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes both offended her in their home. Katie released a public apology and wishes Leah the best in all that she can do. Can't wait to see what Tom has to say. Britney Spears has been performing random acts of kindness by sending her fans greeting cards with handwritten special personal messages, and they've been posting them all over social media. Her fans are so grateful. Brit is getting so much praise for this sweet act of kindness. I know I'll be looking for mine in the mail tomorrow. This week, Halle Berry filed for divorce of 2 years with her husband, Oliver Martinez. However, the Oscar winner and her husband are joining an elite group of singles, which include Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner, Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton, and Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. Hopefully we'll start seeing some celebrity hookups instead of celebrity breakups. That's all I have for you this week. Thanks.
Hello and welcome back to Showtimes. And if you saw any of the 3 movies released last week, I'm sorry. The Halloween weekend box office was a snooze fest that saw The Martian still hold on to the top spot with $11 million. The other 3 movies that opened this week were Burnt, Our Brand is Crisis, and Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. And they all bombed so poorly that they combined to gross only $9 million. Thankfully, we'll have an exciting weekend to look forward to this week that is highlighted by Spectre, the 24th entry in the James Bond franchise. Spectre sees Daniel Craig reprise his role as 007 and stars Christoph Waltz as the mysterious villain. Spectre will definitely win the weekend box office, and I'm predicting numbers around $130 to $160 million. Also opening this week is the Peanuts movie, which reimagines the classic comic strip for the big screen, which features Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the whole gang. Netflix and Amazon don't offer anything notable this week, but Redbox has a huge lineup of new movies coming out tomorrow that includes Inside Out, The Gift, and Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, which is fantastic, and I definitely recommend that one more than anything else that is available this week. You can also rent San Andreas, which stars The Rock, and Magic Mike, Double XL, I guess, starring a bunch of guys that your girlfriend likes. As for my under-the-radar pick of the week, I'm going with something a little more old school. Since the World Series just ended, check out Major League from 1989. It stars Charlie Sheen and is a ridiculously funny spoof movie. Believe it or not, there was actually a time where spoof movies were actually funny, and Major League is one of the best, so go check that out and get some laughs. That's all I have for you this week. Check back next week to hear my thoughts on Spectre and to stay updated on all film-related nonsense.
Thanks, guys. If you would like to know how Clemson University was founded and other interesting information about the college, take a trip down to Cooper Library between 8:30 and 4:30 this week. Cooper Library offers a Clemson history exhibit that takes a look at the people, ideas, and events which came together to create Clemson University as we know it.
If you fly Southwest Airlines out of Greenville-Spartanburg Airport, you may want to book with another airline. Southwest Airline is cutting back on flights to the Greenville-Spartanburg Airport. Currently, the airport offers 7 Southwest flights to 5 different cities, but in April 2016, Southwest will now only fly 3 daily flights to Atlanta. Spokeswoman for GSP, Rosalind Weston, stated that Southwest is making a change in their business model. GSP did not play a decision in that.
Have you ever been to a play at the Brooks Theater? If not, this is your chance. On November 17th, the drama department will be performing Loot, their second play of the semester. Loot, written by Joe Orton, follows the fortunes of 2 young thieves as they rob a bank that's next to a funeral parlor, and they find just the right place to hide their treasure. The Chi Alpha Christian Fellowship hosted the 4th annual Comic-Con on Saturday evening in the Hendricks Student Center. This year, the free festivities include foam weapon fighting competitions, Super Smash Bros. Tournament, and a costume contest, as well as a photo booth. Local artists and comic book stores were also in attendance to display their work.
Every kid loves tree houses, but thanks to Seneca's Treehouse Project, adults will like them too. The Seneca Treehouse Project was originally created in the 2008 market crash to help people cope with financial struggles. The organization now teaches people how to reduce food expenses while reducing environmental waste at the same time. The Treehouse is primarily supported by business and individual donations from the local community. Now here's Rosie with your weekly sports.
The Clemson-NC State Halloween game was certainly up to an appropriately frightening start. The game got off to a bizarre back-and-forth start with both teams trading 2 touchdowns with a blocked point after attempt. Ultimately, Clemson's fans' heart rate leveled out after the number 3 Clemson Tigers defeated NC State 56-41 at Carter Finley Stadium on Saturday. Sophomore quarterback Deshaun Watson led the Tigers to 623 total yards as he completed 23 of 30 passes for 383 yards and 5 touchdowns. He also added a score on the ground to match his single-game high of 6 set last season against North Carolina. Wayne Gallman rushed for a season high of 172 yards, his 5th game over 100 yards this season. Watson ran for a score and threw for a 57-yard to Hunter Runfern, the latter of which tied the game at 13 just 5 minutes into the contest. Now we can look towards the highly anticipated FSU game at 7 p.m. this Saturday to hopefully disprove the Florida State win in Death Valley in 2013 matchup. Jenna Weston of Clemson women's soccer team scored her 5th goal of the season in the 15th minute of the Clemson's 1-0 win over Syracuse on Saturday at Syracuse University. With this win, Clemson clinched a spot in the ACC tournament for the first time since 2007. The tournament will be held in Cary, North Carolina, with the semifinal matches being played on November 6th and the final on November 8th. The Clemson men's soccer team rolled over NC State Wolfpack in a 4-1 win on the road on Friday, October 20th. Sophomore Michael Melvin scored the first 2 goals of his Clemson career on that Friday night. With the win, 3rd-ranked Clemson concluded the regular season at 14-1-2 overall and 6-1-1 in the ACC, while the Wolfpack fell to 8-4-3 and 1-3-3 in the ACC with that loss. Head coach Mike Noonan commented how all season our players have committed to achieving something special and have continued to pursue excellence. Now, ultimately, they're ready for the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament play. The Clemson volleyball team fell to number 3 Boston College Eagles this past Friday, October 30th. Leah Perry can be recognized for leading the offense with 12 kills and completed by 8 digs as the Tigers fell to Boston College in 3 sets. Kate Federico fed the offense for 15 assists and was 4 of 6 on attacks without an error. We can look to support the volleyball team this coming Sunday at 12:30 p.m. in Jervey Gym. That's all I have for the sports. As always, go Tigers.
Thanks, Rosie. On Saturday morning, a Russian passenger plane crashed into Egypt, killing 244 people on board. When analyzing the wreckage, experts determined that the plane was split apart in mid-air. A ground official stated that the plane was in perfect condition when it left the Egyptian airport. The mysterious crash is currently being investigated further.
Clemson University Cooperative Extension has joined forces with a dozen partners to devise a plan to clean up the pollutants in the surrounding Clemson area. The team's main focus is to reduce coli in the surrounding creeks. However, they will not turn their head to other dangers such as excess nutrients, bacteria, debris, and animal waste. 57-year-old Cecile Morris was pronounced dead after her Greenville home randomly caught fire on Saturday night.
Authorities are now investigating the case as a homicide and are reaching out to family and other close friends of Mrs. Sanders for more information about why this may have happened. If you or anyone you know have any information about this incident, please report to the proper authority. On Saturday, the South Carolina National Guard and the South Carolina Military Museum honored dozens of South Carolina Korean War veterans. After a short presentation, the veterans were presented with the Korean Ambassador for Peace Medal for their bravery and dedication to service in the United States.
97-year-old Margaret Beckerman had taught us that it is never too late to finish what you started. Ms. Beckerman was forced to drop out of high school at the age of 17 to help her mother, who was suffering from cancer. 8 decades later, she went back to finish what she started and accomplished a lifelong goal as she received her high school diploma at the age of 97.
The National Institute of Food and Agriculture's Crop Protection and Pest Management Program awarded Clemson's Sustainable Agriculture Program with a 3-year, $175,000 grant to study and refine no-till cover crop management to help weed controls and vegetables. The trial will be performed at 3 different locations: the Clemson Student Organic Farm, Clemson Coastal Research and Education Center, which is located in Charleston, and City Roots Farm in Columbia. Congratulations. Many consumers often look for healthier alternatives for their sweet treats. This Halloween was no different. Many companies made adjustments this year to cater to a growing market of healthy treat eaters. Kosher Food Company recently introduced their low-sugar candies from unusual concoctions like puffed quinto and cabbage to win over healthy, conscious shoppers. Give them a try, but I think I'll stick to my Reese's Cups. Here's Trevor with your weekly forecast.
Thanks, Horace. Can you believe it's already November?
I cannot believe
It's
it.
crazy. Anyway, November 2nd. I've got your look at this week's weather for the first week of November. Starting off with what you're seeing right now, temperatures aren't that cold. It's in the low 60s depending on where you are on campus. Same with the winds, 0 to 5 miles per hour. The humidity and the dew point are both relatively high, so you're not going to walk out and feel a chill or anything. You're just going to feel nothing. This is webcam footage from earlier today. You've got the view of Bowman Field and Sykes Hall from the front of Holzendorf Hall. And what I want you to notice here is just the amount of water and moisture that's been collecting on Bowman Field lately, especially from today. As many of you know, the intramural fields have been basically closed for the rest of the semester due to all the rain that we've been seeing recently, and today's weather didn't help Bowman Field at all. Moving on, we have the radar loop around the region, and this is just a line of thunderstorms that basically set up over our area. And there were some isolated downpours, and Clemson did get a few of those, but the main line has now moved down to our south and to our east. And Clemson is just left with scattered showers, and we're going to be seeing that for the next few days, and I'll discuss that in just a minute. But this line has now moved away from us and closer to the coast, and there has been an isolated chance of severe weather. Clemson won't have to worry about any severe weather anytime soon. Next, we're going to go to the tropics and see what's close to home. This is a visible satellite loop of the region near the southeastern coast of the United States. And like last week, no storms pose a threat to the United States because we are approaching the end of the hurricane season in the Atlantic Ocean, which is November 30th. Climatologically, activity does decrease as you get closer to the end, and that's what we've been seeing, especially with El Nino conditions in the Atlantic, not much activity. But next, if we go across the world, we're going to see Cyclone Chapala, I think is how it's pronounced. And this is a rare cyclone. So there's three pictures here. They're called cyclones over there. It's the exact same thing as a hurricane. It's just named differently. So this is where we are. Here's Africa. Here's the Arabian Peninsula. And Chapala has just been cruising along in the Arabian Sea, and it's been quite strong and quite intense given its location. Here's NASA took this from earlier today. This is what you can see from space. And it's a very compact storm, but it's a very small storm. And it did make landfall in Yemen earlier today, I believe. That's basically the only tropic story that we've been dealing with. Back over to the United States, this is what we're seeing across the country, and I want to point out several things here. Starting off with what we're seeing, there's been a warm front that's been interacting with this cold front, and it's been stuck here due to this area of high pressure to our north. And in the atmosphere, you need things to move air masses. And we saw this with Hurricane Joaquin. It just basically meandered until something took it in one direction or the other. And so that's what's going to happen here, is it's just going to stay here until something moves it. So that thing that's going to move it is this cold front across the western United States right now that has snow behind it. And when it has snow behind it, it has a lot of energy with it because it's bringing a lot of cold air. So this cold front means business. And when this gets here, it's going to kick all this junk away from us. And it's going to bring us some colder weather and some drier weather as well that we're going to look at right now. Here's the temperature trend for the next 7 days. And like I said, just a chance of rain every single day until that cold front moves through. 20% chance tomorrow, mostly cloudy tomorrow, and then we're going to see those rain chances go back up on Wednesday. Temperatures will be steady in the upper 60s to low 70s for most of this week, and low temperatures will be in the upper 50s to low 60s. But come Sunday, notice how it gets a lot colder, high of 61 and a low of 43. That's when that cold front moves through. There is the football game on Saturday, and right now it's expected to be a little bit wet, 70% chance of rain, but there's two things I want you to pay attention to. 70% chance of rain means 30% chance of no rain, and that 30% chance of rain depends on when that cold front gets to South Carolina. If the cold front arrives a little bit early, then Saturday will be dry. If it arrives as it's expected right now or a little bit later, it will be a little bit wet. Confidence will increase toward the end of the week onto the timing of that cold front, so be sure to stay tuned for that and all the updates you need for the forecast for the football game. Next, we've got the bottom line. As I said, rainy, ugly week is just basically what we're going to be dealing with, so keep the umbrella handy. And again, warmer than normal start to November, actually. Temperatures should be a little bit cooler than what we're seeing now, and that's just, again, part of this situation that's set up. When that cold front moves through, it will be colder. Next, we have the pick of the week, and this is taken by Kayla Stevens. This is from where the high rise is on East Campus, and you can see campus down here. This is Lake Hartwell, and you've got Death Valley here. But what's really cool about this picture is the shelf cloud and the rain shaft. So the shelf cloud was over here. This was a few weeks ago. This wasn't today or anything. But you've got the sun behind it, and the sun behind it was producing that nice contrast in the clouds. And then over here on the right side, we have the rain shaft, which is basically just, it's like a wall of precipitation from a cloud that you can see from a distance. And so that's what we saw there. I'm loving the picks of the week. Keep posting them on Twitter and tagging me, and I'll put them up here on air on Monday nights. Next, we have the weather fact of the week. Last week, I showed you guys the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth. So this week, I'm going to show you guys the warmest temperature ever recorded on Earth. And that title belongs to Libya in Africa. In 1922, they hit 136 degrees, which is crazy hot. Glad we don't have to deal with anything like that. Next, and lastly, make sure that you follow me on Twitter, especially for that updated forecast for the Florida State game on Saturday. And of course, like and follow Tigervision at all of our social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all the updates that you need throughout the week. Back to you guys.
Thanks. That's your news for tonight.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Tigervision and like us on Facebook for real-time news updates.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on the Monday Night Roar.